Do you wait for everything to be perfect and lined up straight before you make a choice? How hard are you trying to get everything in your life right? What if jumping in and getting messy is one of the ways to find out what works for you? Discover how being willing to mess up can create the phenomenal life you truly desire. Get ready to quit judging and start embracing all of your messy adventures. Now, here's your host, self-declared messy living expert, Petrina Fava.
Hey there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Messy Adventures in Living. We are talking about money today, and the title of our show today is called It's Raining Money. Is your umbrella up? So, if it was raining money, would you put your umbrella up, or would you go out and play in it, splash around, enjoy it like a child would? Would you even consider using your umbrella to have some more of it, to turn it upside down and catch it? Most of us are unknowingly putting up umbrellas to money. Some of us don't even realize that it's raining on us because our umbrella is so dark and so thick that we can't see beyond it. Do you believe that there is a limited amount of money that you can have? What is this based on? Your education, the kind of job you have, your lack of skills, your family. What if none of these things are true? What if your beliefs about money are actually barriers that are in the way of you receiving? Are you ready to look beyond the umbrella and turn it upside down and receive? So, I was chatting with someone about the idea that she was believing that she was incongruent with money, and she used this word incongruent, and I found that really fascinating, and it kind of spurred the topic for this show. And I started to look at all the places where we have many interesting beliefs about money, and how much of those beliefs are actually start to come in between us and receiving money. So we're going to look at money today, and we're going to use some of the tools of access consciousness to clear some of our limiting beliefs about money. So what are some beliefs or points of view that you have about money? If you take a look at your beliefs and your points of view and see them as just interesting, and then, so what we'll do is we'll use the access clearing statement. So if you've never heard it before, it goes like this. It goes right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. So we'll take a look at some limiting ideas about money that you have, and then see where we can get rid of them and open you up to receiving. Sound fun? So one of the I'm just going to throw some points of view about money. One of the big ones is I can't afford it. Something that a lot of people say without really thinking a lot about what they're saying. One of the tools of access, or one of the concepts that we play with a lot, is that your point of view creates your reality. It's not that your reality creates your point of view. So I think often we grow up thinking that what we see around us, what our reality is what creates our point of view about what life is, because it's based on reality. We look around and we say, well, this is reality, so this is our point of view. So what if the opposite is true? What if it's your point of view that actually creates your reality? So I saw this cartoon once where there's a guy driving on a road that's like winding around a mountain. Sorry, it's like a bus and there's two passengers, and one passenger is on the one side where he's looking out the window and all he's seeing is the rock. And then and it's like there's a big cloud and it's raining on that side, and then the other passenger is sitting on the other side of the bus, and she's looking out the window and all she can see is like the sunshine. And I like that. It's like your point of view is what's creating your reality. So if we go with that and we kind of keep that in mind as we talk about money today, what are all your points of view about money that are creating your reality with money? And if your point of view is, I can't afford that, what reality are you creating with that point of view? And what message are you putting out to the world when you say, I can't afford it? So let's clear some of the energy around that. So everywhere you've decided that there's anything in the world that you can't afford, will you please destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. If you have questions about the clearing statement, there is an entire website dedicated to it. You can go and take a look at it. It's called www.theclearingstatement.com. So just looking in the chat room, I used to believe that money was difficult, complicated, and tricky. Yeah, interesting. I also remember learning economics in school and being like, wow, this is really tricky and complicated, and it's not easy to have money. It's not easy to understand money. And again, so if that's your point of view, if your point of view is money is difficult, money is complicated, money is tricky, that's a really funny word, tricky. I almost get like the energy of this like little leprechaun when I read that off the screen, that money is tricky, like almost like, haha, evasive, look at me, tricky. So yeah, that's interesting. And what are we creating with I can't afford that? Exactly. So every time you say it, what are you actually creating? You're creating more things that you can't afford, or are you creating abundance? So all of the tricks, what is that? What is all of the tricks we've ever, I almost want to say that we've played on ourselves around money. Everywhere we've created money as tricky, and everywhere we've been tricked by money. Oh, everywhere we've been tricked by money. Everything that is in any lifetime, can we please destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, fuzzy bands. Keisha in the chat room. I let myself be tricked by money a lot when I was having that point of view. Sure. So yeah, if your point of view is money is tricky, how much are you actually going to create that, and how many times will you be tricked by money? Cool. I love it. Let's look at, I was going to look at this idea of the word want, because it comes up a lot around money, and I want money. So have you ever said, I want money? If you look up the definition of the word want in a really old dictionary, the original meaning of the word want is actually to lack. And I often think of the prayer that goes, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. There's something about that line that really shows the energy of that word, lack. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall never lack. So if you look at the word want, and the original meaning of it is actually lack, and you're saying, I don't want money, are you actually saying, if you're saying I want money, are you actually saying I lack money? And so there's this fun exercise that we do a lot at Access that I think originally comes from a book that was written that's called How to Become Money Workbook, that you can actually say, I don't want money. And if you say it over and over again, it almost becomes really light and expansive and kind of funny. So I remember the first time I did it, I was like laughing by the third time. So we can try it. So if you say, I want money, and really tap into the energy of want. I want money. I lack money. And then if you change it to, I don't want money. 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 Can you perceive the difference in the energy there? Like, I don't lack money. I don't want money. I don't want for money. So just to be aware of the energy of that word want, and be aware of what you're actually saying and what you're really putting out into the universe when you say things like, I want money. So yeah, Keisha, just still I was talking about this little thing about tricking and all the people who were willing to manipulate or trick me with money. Yeah. So thank you for that. Lots of points of view about using money as a manipulation, almost like bribery, tricking. I wonder if that's what it is, Keisha. Like, is it a little bit about bribery, or what is that tricking? Yeah. So all the places that you were bribed with money, all of the places people tricked you into giving you their money. Yeah, deception. Everywhere you were deceived. And so, where were all the places that you made yourself unaware with money? So it's almost like one of those stupidity clearings. So in Access, there are some clearings that go, what stupidity are you using to create the lack of money you're choosing? So, and in this sense, stupidity actually means unawareness. So how much unawareness do you have to do in order to be tricked? How much do you have to cut off your awareness in order to allow someone to trick you or to deceive you? And if you were more willing to be totally aware of what was actually going on, could anybody actually really trick you? Yeah, awesome. And part of that too, what comes up for me when we talk about this is the idea that often we do this thing, some of us do this thing where we are really unaware of our finances, where we don't want to look and we don't want to track and we don't want to, I don't really want to use the word budget, but there's this energy of like, money's coming in. I just kind of know money's coming in and money's kind of going out. And I know it's coming in and I know it's going out, but I'm not really keeping track of where my money's going and where it's coming from. And, when we're doing that, how much are we actually unwilling to be aware of exactly what's happening with our money? And then what is that creating? How are we intentionally doing unawareness with money, being unaware of our money? And then what's that creating? Whereas if we were more willing to take notes about our money and look at exactly what's coming in and exactly what's going out, could we create a different financial reality if we were using our awareness with money? Awesome. So we are going to go to break. And when we come back, we're going to chat with a caller. Yay! Exciting. So you are listening to Messy Adventures in Living on A2Zen.fm with myself, Petrina Fava. And when we return, we will continue our conversation about money and take a look at all our points of view and see if we can change some stuff. Stay tuned.
Do you wait until all the traffic lights are green before you get in your car? Of course you don't. Are you waiting until you have everything perfect to begin living? Most of us have learned not to take any steps until we have all the information to make the right choice. What if the opposite is true? What if it's choice that creates awareness? Are you willing to make lots of messy choices so you can begin to see the possibilities that you didn't even think existed? Listen for Messy Adventures in Living radio show with self-declared messy living expert Petrina Fava every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific on a2zen.fm. How much more expansive would your life be if you were willing to get messy with your choices?
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
You're listening to Messy Adventures in Living with Petrina Fava. To participate in today's show, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. In the UK, 033-0001-0625. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also ask questions or comment by email by sending to Petrina at petrinafava.com. Now, here's Petrina with more messy adventures.
Hello, welcome back to Messy Adventures in Living on a2zen.fm with myself, Petrina Fava. We are talking about money today, and the title of our show is It's Raining Money. Is your umbrella up? Put it down. So just before we went to break, we were talking about unawareness with money and this cute thing that sometimes we do where we're not paying, or we don't look at what's coming in and we don't look at what's going out. We do this kind of like pretending that we don't care about budgeting and like just kind of, we know money's flowing in and we know money is going out, but we're not really paying attention. And Gary Douglas, who's the founder of Access, often talks about this, about how it really creates something different when you're paying attention to what's coming in and what's going out, and also so that you know, it's like you know what to ask for. You know, can you formulate your questions in a way that will generate more greater if you really know what's coming in and what's going out. So we have a caller on the line, Catherine, and I'm really excited to talk to her, take some questions. Catherine, are you there?
I think so.
Hi, Catherine.
Can you hear me?
I
Hi.
can. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I came on just before the break, and you were talking about all that stuff, and it oh God, there's so much that just wants to kind of like yak out at me. Unawareness with money. I spent some time as a financial planner, and I saw that everywhere. And that was almost like the first step in the process, is to point out the things that could shift to change the money situation. But people always chose not to do that. And it was so frustrating. And even myself, like, I mean, it's easy to see it in someone else when they're doing it, but when you're doing it yourself, and you kind of get into this cycle of, you spend to feel good, and then you feel bad about what you spent, and then the thing isn't enjoyable anymore, so you kind of shove it in a closet and don't look at it because it's a reminder of, what you spent that you really shouldn't have spent, because you can't enjoy it because you knew you should have spent that on something else.
Yeah.
So you go through this whole cycle of, and I mean, that's why thrift shops are so great, because people buy stuff and then they don't use it, and they won't even touch it, and like, it's still got the label on, and they're like, get that out of my sight, right?
Okay. Yeah. So like, what's the value of staying unaware of your financial status? Like, what's the value of hiding? What's the value of it? Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you ignore it, it'll go away, or it'll change kind of on its own. So
like magic, right?
Right. It's like, I just won't look at it, and it'll just go away. So what stupidity are we using? What stupidity are we using to create the financial unawareness, which is stupidity? What stupidity are you using to create the financial stupidity you are choosing? And everything that is, fancy that's telling you, well, you just shorten and create it all.
Oh, yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, buck, all nine shorts, boys and guns. That's really cool when you said about shopping to feel good, and then you feel bad about it. So you're shopping for, like, what is that for you? Like, is it exciting? Is it?
Well, it's a feel-good thing, because, like, even if you're not shopping for, like, something for yourself, like, you're shopping for someone else, so you're doing something good, you have good intentions, but then it's not really what you should be doing, and they don't need more stuff, but you're getting more stuff for them because it makes you feel good.
Right.
It's kind of like, it's this Christmas thing all wrapped up in the whole year.
Mhm. So it's funny, I was teaching a bars class today, and I was talking about this idea of, like, when you find yourself drawn to a certain behavior all the time, well, for me, what I do is I look at, like, what is it that I'm getting from this that I could be getting somewhere else? Like, and it was funny, in my class, I actually just used the idea of, like, going on Facebook, because we were talking about how it's becoming such an addiction to just be, like, going on Facebook and checking and checking and checking. And it's like, so I've been looking at, like, what is that? What is it that I'm getting by going to Facebook that actually I could get even greater if I did it somewhere else, right? Because it's not really, it's not generating.
It's a substitute.
Yeah. So what is it about shopping, like, that exciting? What's that excitement in shopping, like, that you're getting from shopping that you could actually be getting somewhere else? Like, what is it that you're actually getting from shopping, from spending?
Something to, yeah, it's a pathetically boring life that has no outlet, I guess.
Cool. Yes. So, and everything that is.
Yeah.
And all the judgments around that. Well, you just started on Credo.
Oh, for sure,
right,
yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, on that choice, both and guns. Yeah, eating for me as well is a big example of that. It's like, I'm so bored. Like, it's just like, oh, you ever eat just because you're bored? And you're like, if I eat something delicious, then that's something really exciting, and it's just in my mouth, but at least it's really exciting for 10 seconds.
Oh, right? No, I can't relate to that at all.
So, yeah, is it the same thing with spending money? Okay, so if you are aware that you're bored, so you're spending money, and it's that rush of excitement, are you creating enough in your life?
No, definitely.
Yeah. So what if instead of going shopping, you actually created? Like, so have you ever been doing something that's like, again, I'm going to just go to the eating thing because that's just what's coming up for me. Like, have you ever been so excited about what you're doing on a particular day, and you're doing something like really, really fun, and then you're like, oh my God, I forgot to eat. I didn't even eat today.
Oh, yes. Yes.
right? And it's because you were creating, or like you were doing something super fun, or like you were like so engaged in life, and so that you're like, oh, I didn't even eat. But if you're at home bored, right? Like every 15 minutes you'd be like, what's in the fridge?
Yeah, that prowl through the fridge and then the cupboards and then
yeah. It's the same with spending. It's like, I'm gonna go out and shop because I'm bored. So everywhere
that's a very expensive habit.
Yeah, so everywhere you're using the thrill of spending money, the thrill of getting some new item as a replacement for creation. Will you please discern and create all of that?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, hot, talk, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Wow. Cool.
That's just sitting right there on the chest, nice and heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so what else? What else do you get from spending or being...
an illusion. It's an illusion of having something to do. It really is. Of that things are working, that life's okay.
Okay. So
it's almost like a fantasy life.
So, like, if you can spend money, it means that you have enough? Something like that?
Yeah, and I'm normal like everyone else.
Because you can spend money?
Because yeah.
Yeah, so where have you equated, like, spending money with the value of you or something? Like, yeah.
Oh, that goes all the way back to my mom. She could never say no to a door-to-door salesman.
She can never say no to a door-to-door salesman?
Yeah, that's going way back.
Yeah.
It was her little bit of independence to be able to do something like that.
To be able to spend money.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it's like, oh, I can do this. This is my one place where I have independence. This is my one place where I can choose something for me, where I can do whatever I want with my money. So I'm going to just spend it.
Yeah.
Cool. And so everywhere you're mimicking that, can you discern and create well? Oh, crap.
Sorry, are you allowed to say that?
Totally. I've said way worse than crap.
Yeah.
So everywhere you're mimicking your mom's, like, this is my place. I can do whatever I want. Here I can do whatever I want with my money, so I'm going to just spend it however I want. And not be in the question of, if I buy this, will it create something greater? And you destroy and create all.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, for sure.
Luck, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond.
Okay, so that just brought something else up.
Okay, go.
Well, my parents used to always fight about money because she was always spending money that they couldn't afford to spend.
Sorry, can you say it again?
I said my parents were always fighting about money because she was always spending money that they couldn't afford.
Ah, okay. Yeah. And so
it's not just a matter of her expressing her independence, but the consequences of that.
Okay. So she was made wrong?
Yes.
She was blamed?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Like, made wrong and blamed? Was she blamed?
Yeah, when the money wasn't there for other things.
Cool. And is that the unawareness thing that you're talking about, like where you kind of just don't want to look at it? Because so everywhere you figure that if you don't look at it, you won't spend it.
Oh wow!
Just trying to create all that.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all night, just hey, if I don't know that I have all that money in my bank account, I'm just gonna not spend it. So I'm just not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna pay attention to what's coming in, because if I don't know, I won't spend it. Nice. So all the places that we're hiding money from our awareness so that we don't spend it. We destroy and uncreate all that.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, fuck, all night, short, supposed to be honest. I think I might just have a little bit of that going on too. Thanks.
Yeah, it feels like a big galump of stuff.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. So, you hang on to that. Well, don't hang on to it, but just be present with that. And we're gonna take. Don't hang on to it. We're gonna take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll do more. Okay. You are listening to Messy Adventures in Living on A2Zen.fm with myself, Petrina Fava, and my guest, Catherine. Yes. When we return, we will continue our conversation about money and hiding money and being unaware of money and more fun stuff like that. Stay tuned.
Do you wait until all the traffic lights are green before you get in your car? Of course you don't. Are you waiting until you have everything perfect to begin living? Most of us have learned not to take any steps until we have all the information to make the right choice. What if the opposite is true? What if it's choice that creates awareness? Are you willing to make lots of messy choices so you can begin to see the possibilities that you didn't even think existed? Listen for Messy Adventures in Living radio show with self-declared messy living expert Petrina Fava every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific on A2Zen.fm. How much more expansive would your life be if you were willing to get messy with your choices?
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
You're listening to Messy Adventures in Living with Petrina Fava. To participate in today's show, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. In the UK, 033-0001-0625. Or you can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. You can also ask questions or comment by email by sending to Petrina at petrinafava.com. Now, here's Petrina with more Messy Adventures.
Hey, welcome back to Messy Adventures in Living on A2Zen.fm with myself, Petrina Fava. Our show today is called It's Raining Money. Is your umbrella up? Really funny. I actually came up with that title just from looking for some images to put with my show, and actually just saw this image of two guys with their umbrellas up, and the woman in the middle, and the money, the coins are falling, and the two guys have their umbrellas up, and she's got her umbrella turned upside down, like helping her carry the money. And I thought, oh, that's a great title. It was a really cool image. So when we went to break, we were talking about, we were speaking with our caller, Catherine, who was talking about, using spending money as a, to have some excitement. And we were looking at are you creating enough, and are you bored? And so when you're bored, do you go and spend money? And then she was talking about her mom and all the places that her mom was made wrong for spending money that they didn't have. And right before that, we were talking about people doing unawareness with money. So not paying attention to what's coming in and coming out. And so then we were looking at I wonder how many of us are not willing to look at what's coming in so that we don't spend it. So like not looking at it that way. If we don't know that it's there, then we won't spend it. So how can we change this stuff? So Catherine, like, what questions can we ask to change this? And what was coming up actually during the break was, so I just saw a quote from Gary Douglas that said something like, anything that wow, I should know this because I just made it my profile picture on Facebook. As long as you're doing judgment, nothing will ever change. So all the judgments you have around this, any of them at all, so judgments of yourself, judgments of your mom, judgments of your dad, judgments of your financial situation growing up, judgments of money, all the judgments attached to money, your family, how your family spent money, how you're spending money. Will you please destroy and uncreate all of those?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop up, all night shorts, boys, and beyonds. So Gary told me once that if I didn't want to be like someone, I had to actually be them in order to not be them. And I was like, huh? So I was talking about how much I didn't want to be like someone, and he said, that's great, because do you realize what you're creating is actually becoming like that? Because in order to not be like them, you have to understand what they're like in order to not be like them. So would you be willing to be like your mom? Yeah, tilted puppy dog head. Exactly. It's like, huh? So Catherine, how much have you not wanted to be like your mom in terms of money?
Oh, I spent my whole life resisting being like her.
Awesome. So what you're actually creating is becoming like her, so that you can know how she is, so that you can then go and not be like her. Is that what? How's that working?
Sure. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah. So everywhere you're resisting being your mom, which is actually in effect creating you becoming like your mom, can you please destroy and uncreate that crap?
Oh yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all night shorts, boys, and beyonds. So would you actually be willing to be exactly like your mother?
Ooh, that doesn't feel so good.
Okay. Would you be willing to be a little bit like your mother? A little bit?
I guess I have to start somewhere.
You don't have to.
Yes, okay, yes.
Okay. So, again, we were just talking about this in my bars class today, if everything that you resist persists, if you would be willing to be all those things you have so much resistance to, then, is it possible that that's when you can start to change it? So,
if that's possible.
If what's possible?
To change it? I'll do whatever it takes to change it.
Cool. So anything that you've decided is impossible, everywhere you've decided it's inconceivable and impossible to change this stuff, your stuff around money, can you just try and create all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop up, all night shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah, we all seem to have that thing that we've decided can never change. It's like, yeah, that works for other people, but not me.
So, I've always said what you resist persists, but I never thought about myself when I said that.
Yeah. So, all the places you're resisting being just like your mom and spending needlessly. We just try to feel that. So, would you be willing to be that wife, that wife that just goes around spending money and doesn't even care, and she just spends all this money and we don't even have it, and the husband is working really hard and trying to make money and trying to make ends meet, and here's this wife and she's just spending her money frivolously on all these ridiculous things, and then she puts them in the closet and she doesn't even see them.
Oh my God, you've just described it.
Everything that brings up. We just start to agree on.
Yes.
Right, wrong.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So now, what else is possible? And so, like, would you be willing also to look at, like, I don't know, like, what your bookkeeping thing is like, but, like, would you be willing to take one step towards tracking your finances?
Yes, I remember actually looking and saying, I can't do anything about it, so I'm not even going to look. So
Yeah,
that's probably
exactly. More unawareness, right? Like, and I can't do anything about it as a conclusion.
It's like a constant reminder of what you're not doing.
Yeah, and it's also projection.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. Your point of view creates your reality. So every time you say, I can't do anything about it, what's getting created?
More crap.
More crap. So, like, could you turn that into a question? So what can I choose? What can I do? What can I do about this? What can I choose? What's one small thing you can choose to change this?
That budget word.
Yeah, and so and
at least knowing what is required.
Yeah, what's required? Can you talk
to keep the household going?
Yeah, cool. Or even, like, would you be willing to look at even just what's coming in? Because then would you realize actually that you have more coming in than you know? It's almost like, have you heard that Scotiabank?
Oh, that sounds like more fun.
That's right. Cool.
Yeah, that sounds like much more fun.
I was going to say that Scotiabank commercial that says you're richer than you know. Is it Scotiabank? I can't remember. But it's like this commercial that is like, here, let us show you where you have money that you don't even realize you have money.
Yeah, you picked the one commercial that always irritated me.
Not sorry. So everything that commercial brings up, times gazillion, well, you just run a great out.
Yes.
Right, wrong, give that pop, on interest, but yeah. And so, again, like, no one ever said that this is, like, everywhere you've decided that if it's uncomfortable, you don't want to do it. And, like, everywhere you've decided that change and, using the tools of access and all of this stuff it should be, like, light and fluffy and playful. Can you just try and create all of that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, give that pop, on interest. Would you be willing to sit with that thing that's really uncomfortable? Until it shifts.
Okay. You mean just be with it?
Yeah, just be with it. I mean, because, or you could just avoid it.
Sorry, I cut.
Yeah, or you could avoid it.
No. Avoiding it hasn't worked so far.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like every time, like, do your walls go up as soon as you perceive something uncomfortable?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what would it take for you to just kind of be with that discomfort and be like, oh, this is really uncomfortable, and I'm gonna lower. So, like, what if you lowered your barriers even more, and really allowed yourself to feel that discomfort?
Oh, but it might kill me, wouldn't it?
So everywhere you've decided that if you are really vulnerable and you push your barriers down, that discomfort will kill you. Can you please just create that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, on my choice. So what if being with that discomfort and lowering your barriers completely and being totally vulnerable is that one last little tiny piece of veil that will totally change it?
Wow. That's certainly a different point of view, yeah.
So everything that does not allow that, well, you just trying to create it all.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine short spoons and beyond. If you play with this a little bit, and you sit with something that's really uncomfortable, and then it changes, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't die. And it can almost get exciting. You can almost be like, oh my God, I want to do something else. I want to do something else uncomfortable. What else can I do that's uncomfortable? Ew, that's really uncomfortable. Okay, wait, ew. And maybe sit with this uncomfortable thing.
Okay, I gotta pull out
how much
pull
fun
out all the bills and look at them.
could it actually become exciting to play with discomfort?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So we are going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to play some more. So you are listening to Messy Adventures in Living on A2Zen.fm. We are talking about money. This is Petrina Fava, and we are playing with our caller, Catherine Barr. When we return, we will continue our conversation about money. Stay tuned.
Do you wait until all the traffic lights are green before you get in your car? Of course you don't. Are you waiting until you have everything perfect to begin living? Most of us have learned not to take any steps until we have all the information to make the right choice. What if the opposite is true? What if it's choice that creates awareness? Are you willing to make lots of messy choices so you can begin to see the possibilities that you didn't even think existed? Listen for Messy Adventures in Living radio show with self-declared messy living expert Petrina Fava every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific on A2Zen.fm. How much more expansive would your life be if you were willing to get messy with your choices?
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
You're listening to Messy Adventures in Living with Petrina Fava. To participate in today's show, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. In the UK, 033-0001-0625. Or you can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. You can also ask questions or comment by email by sending to Petrina at petrinafava.com. Now, here's Petrina with more Messy Adventures.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Messy Adventures in Living on A2Zen.fm with myself, Petrina Fava. Before the break, we were talking about a whole bunch of our points of view about money and being unaware of what's coming and going. And just in the chat room, Keisha was talking now about her resistance to being irresponsible with money. Our guest caller, Catherine, was talking about her mom and how much she was just spending without really being aware of what was required to pay the bills. So this thing responsibility comes up a lot around money. And so, like, if you can perceive the energy of that word responsibility, is it light? Is it heavy? What if money almost didn't want, what if money didn't want you to be responsible with it? Like, what if money wanted to be played with? And, so Catherine, we were talking about going out and spending money as a thrill, or like as a replacement for being excited about something, or like spending money when you're bored. And so like what if you didn't have to stop enjoying money?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, what if you did not have to stop enjoying money? So how could you play with money that in a way that's not a substitution for some other thrilling thing in your life? So, like, where can you?
Oh,
where? Yeah.
You mean like investments and getting them to grow and multiply, that kind of thing?
Would that be fun for you?
That'd be fun to watch it grow and expand.
Yeah, so yeah, would that be more? So would it be more fun for you to watch your money grow in an investment than like to go out and spend it at a thrift shop and then put your thing that you bought in the corner and never look at it again?
Yeah, hide it in the corner.
Yeah. So yeah, how could you play with money in a way that would actually generate more money?
Thinking about if I'm going to spend it, to spend it on something that has some real value for me, as opposed to just something.
Sure. And have you heard the question, if I buy you, will you make me money? So it's one of the tools in Access that when you're going to buy something, you could actually ask the item, if I buy you, will you make me money? And it's not like, if I buy you and then I sell you again, will you make me money? It's just kind of playing with the energy of that object, and sometimes it's yes, and sometimes it's no. Sometimes things can contribute to your money flows in a way that's not cognitive. So that would be a cool thing to play with.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. So we're coming close to the end of our show. I am so grateful that you called in, Catherine. Thank you so much. It's been really fun having this conversation with you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, what if we could look at all of our points of view about money, and even maybe list them, and then use the clearing statement to just talk and pod and destroy and uncreate all of our limiting points of view about money. What else? So what could we generate and create more of in our lives if we didn't have those umbrellas, like the limitations, the points of view, the beliefs up? How much more could we receive? And I would say too, like really playing with that question is really fun. If I buy you, will you make me money? If I invest in this, if I invest here, if I invest in you, will you make me money? And like also the idea of money follows joy. So all the contraction that we all have around money, all the like heaviness, all the significance, all the like dirtiness that we attribute to money, what if we could change that? And what if we started to play and how much of enjoying our lives actually attracts more money? So what could you play at today that would make you money right away? What if you invited more joy to your life? Would you also be inviting more money?
Yes. Yeah. It would be fun.
It would be fun. Cool.
Just to make it playful instead of being heavy and serious,
right,
and got to be responsible.
Yeah, like what if the purpose of money was to, have fun, and what if it wanted to be played with? So, what can you do today that will create more joy, that will enable you to drop your umbrellas and let the money rain down on you? Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Thanks for
on
playing
Messy
with
Adventures.
us on Messy Adventures in Living. Petrina Fava will return next Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Mountain, and 6 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm. We'd love to have you join us again. Until then, have fun creating your phenomenal life, mess and all.